I feel the need to comment on this. And before I get everyone hot and bothered in the comment section down below, people pointing fingers, doing all sorts of stuff, I have to say that I am no journalist. I don't pretend or want to be a journalist. We'll leave that to the people that have degrees and are far better at spelling and speaking than I. For one, I have to say that I'm a comedian. Number two, an analyst. Number three, an activist. Because I want to see the sport grow, and I want the privateers to be able to make a living, whether it's doing college ball or what. And all this talk about Kevin Moranz, here's the segue. Privateer defending Mr. Kevin Moranz, badass dude on a bike, for him needing to let these guys buy. F that. Absolutely F that. This dude is risking his life and has become a marketing genius with his Patreon and getting people behind him to be able to afford to race and put on a show for millions of fans. All these guys saying that he needs to just get out of the way. Even Chase Sexton on the podium saying, oh, this knucklehead came in and just went WFO. He proved he could get a hole shot on a privateer level motorcycle, have better reaction time to make it into the first turn first, and he got rewarded for it. It was a measly $5,000, which for a lot of people is a lot. However, when you're comparing between Chase Sexton being all hot and bothered because some guy came in and pushed him wide and could have taken him out, let's forego getting injured here for a second. Let's just do apples to apples when it comes to payout. You've got a rider that can win the pro purse of whatever, $16,000, and then get a bonus of six figures plus. We're talking $100,000 to $300,000 from a factory team. And so he's upset that he didn't get that extra bonus because you've got this one rider trying to make $5,000. How do you keep these riders from potentially trying to go a little bit further than their comfort zone? Well, you do not just tell them, get out of the way, because they are in the main event just like you are. They have earned a right, if not more, to be there because they are doing more with less. And for them to be told that you just need to get out of the way is the furthest from what we should be telling these guys. And I want to take it back as it's a bigger problem as far as with the industry. If the privateers were making money and the purse was enough for a 22nd place rider to make $5-10 for the night show, they wouldn't feel the need to try to push themselves to a limit that might be on the edge of, that was pretty sketchy. But these guys do it all the time. If you talk about Cooper Webb and maybe not Ken Roczen as much because his days of being really, I digress. They push the limits. Look at Sexton. How hypocritical of him to be saying the dude needs to just let me go when he has pushed himself to try to win those six-figure bonuses and the championship, which is going to be $1 million plus. He's put himself on the ground like 6 times this year. Okay, and then for the reporting to say that these privateers need to just step back and let these guys buy, how the hell are they going to improve themselves? And there's a saying that true measure of progress is not comparing yourself to others, but comparing yourself to your past. And Kevin Moranz used to not make the main events all the time, and now he is. He's performing better. He's leveling himself up. We need to have, the sport needs to have more teams on hand so that these guys can make decent money and not just go by the wayside. So as opposed to just bitching, how do you come up with a solution? Well, it's not a matter of how, it's a matter of who. Like, what do we do to fix the problem? Where the financial advisor in me, granted this isn't financial advice, I've let my certification, financial certified planner, Series 7, 6, 63, I've let those all expire. But if you want to go check out Johnny Crypto, my YouTube channel is on the homepage as others. I digress yet again. The point I'm making here is if you have a budget and you're getting close to exceeding the expenditure, well, it's much harder to go find more money to make everybody happy. It's much easier to cut costs because then you have more to work with. And how do we cut costs? Well, you put caps on how much the teams can spend. You make it to where a stock bike is actually competitive, whether that's a stock class. So the entry is much lower for privateers to get involved, and their costs are down. Fees and everything are going up. Inflation is on the rise. How do you combat that? Well, we need to try to figure out, or the sport needs to try to figure out how not to come up with new money, but use what you have, but just be okay with less. Simple as that. Pay the riders more. Pay the riders more. If you pay the riders more, you're going to have people able to start other teams, have more riders on the teams. Therefore, more riders, they'll be happier. They don't have to spend as much to get to every race. They won't be living out of their box van. And it's that simple quote that I've even heard Mathis use is a rising tide lifts all boats. Plain and simple. Even people that are involved in a crappy job, if they're getting paid a decent amount, they're okay with it. They're fairly happy because they can provide for their family. They can do fun stuff on the weekends, etc. The riders might not have the need to endanger themselves and others. And truthfully, we've watched this a little bit. This had a lot to do with Sexton not slowing down, not checking up. Yeah, he had the front wheel on Moranz, and then he had Tomac just clearly coming across. Like, these guys were fighting, and Moranz is getting more and more comfortable with saying, hey, you guys are not that much faster than me. Yes, you might have better equipment than me, but I know how to ride a motorcycle just as good as you. And regardless if it's true or not, he believes it. And I say, let him effing go. If you've got a caged animal, you just unlock the cage. Let him go. It's more exciting for fans and the sport in general. Let's not try to cage them. Let's not try to have the ideology of you're just okay with being a part of the show. No. Even as a fan, I don't want to see top three guys, Cooper Webb, Sexton, and Tomac just race each other back and forth. Maybe Barsha get in there. No, I want to see new guys come up and go. And again, that's kind of the problem with the whole amateurs as well, is because they're bred to be, hey, people are going to let off for me because that's just how it's been my entire career, right? It's very hard for a kid as a privateer to take a factory spot. The factory spots are earned in amateurs, and that is wrong, and it needs to be changed, along with some of the other solutions that I provided in this video. Way to effing go, Kevin. Let's see you get some damn hole shots with some shitty gate picks in the future. Bra-da-da-da-da-da.